This live is just random, nothing, no topic right now. I'm just up here working on the top of the world, and I just want to have some conversation. Mr. West feeling a little lonely up here, I suppose. Anyhow, like I say, nothing pressing, just want to have some good conversation. Trying to meet some cool people on the internet. Try to be a cool guy on the internet, you know. So, I'm just going to work, and hopefully we get some people in here. Just want to get to know you guys a little bit. Outside of the alcohol recovery stuff and all that. Just get to know you as people. No specific agenda or nothing, you know? So that's the whole point of this, just to get to know you guys. Usually I'm doing research. I'm not doing research right now. I'm just a little bored and I need some people to hang out with. So if you're a little bored and you need someone to hang out with, here we go. I want to just learn as much as I can about you guys. I tell you what, this tripod is getting flimsy on me. Yeah. Just a get together, a little lunchtime get together or something, you know. Maybe for people who missed the last live, they can come in and say what they want to say. Tell you what though, about time to take off of this jacket. It's getting too nice out here. Too freaking nice out here. Oh, getting too damn nice out here. Well, boy. A lot clearer view now than our live from earlier. Boy, oh boy, it's beautiful where I live. Jeez. So, too pretty. It's pretty. It's so pretty. What's up, you guys? Hey! How you doing, Lobster? Hold on, let me grab my 5-in-1. How you doing, my boy? Come to join me on my live stream since you didn't want to come to work with me today? Doing good, huh? Very cool. And I'll see you after a bit. Finish up this priming and I'm out of here. You already missed one of my other lives. I did a live earlier today talking with some people. But this time I'm just a little bit bored. So I thought I'd turn on the damn camera and get to yapping, you know? You just scrolling on lives? Oh, you were just scrolling on lives and family? Right on, cool, man. Cool, cool. We got your daily gamer. If milk is melted cheese, and cheese is a block of milk, then what is milk made of? That I don't know, my friend. Milk is made out of milk, I suppose. But do I know the answer to that question? Hell no. How you doing, your daily gamers? How's your day going? Me personally, I got me an easy day. Up here in a place called Top of the World in my little town. So I thought I'd bring you guys up here. Let me show you why we call it Top of the World here, your daily gamer. It's Top of the World right here. That was the quiz for the day. The quiz for the day is if milk is melted cheese. Is milk melted cheese though? That's what I don't know. But if milk is melted cheese and cheese is a block of milk, then what is milk made of? That's the head scratcher for the day from your daily gamer. Are you the guy that was in here the other day that was shooting off jokes left and right? I feel like that name sounds familiar. More like a riddle. Yeah, it's more like a riddle. Yeah. That's what you guys up to, man. Obviously, I'm painting, I'm working. What you guys up to? That's why I turned this live on today. I was bored up here by myself. Normally, I'm working with my partner, Jack, or maybe my son will be at work with me or someone. I actually don't get to do this too often, work by myself. Oh, you at your grandma's? Ah, that sounds super fun. Till grandma said, hey, BD Killers, watching you. That's right, BD Killers. I'm glad you're here watching me. Check this out, man. Check out where we're at. We call this Top of the World, where I'm at. Let's see. I have been sent here on earth. Says, a message sent from above. I have been told to convey this message with everyone here on earth by a being of light whom goes by the name Archangel Michael. Don't worry, everything will be okay. Well, I'm glad you shared that. You know, the verse that's shared most in the Bible, I do believe, or said most in the Bible is, do not fear, right? Do not fear. We are creators. That's the way I see it. Great work environment. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm a lucky guy. I will tell you that. I'm lucky enough to be able to, today I didn't, but I can bring my kids to work with me, you know. I work with one of my best friends. I don't work with a bunch of other friends. I made that mistake when I first started my company. That was a dumb mistake. Beautiful scenery. Thank you. I have been sent here on earth. Godless and God. Oh, God bless and God be with you all. And God bless you and God be with you too. Absolutely. Your daily gamer says, I spent $200 getting back home, pulling my camper last night on gas alone. $200. Oh yeah, no kidding, right? No kidding. I don't know that we're really experiencing it like some other places are as far as the gas goes, but yeah, my vehicle too, I drive a Dodge Durango, and it cost me a couple $100 to fill that baby up. Now it used to cost $100, now it costs $2. So, geez. And I hear that other places are feeling it harder than that. So, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. That's bull crap. That's what that is. That's bull crap. Woo! Jeez. Yeah, I'll probably be here working maybe another hour or so. And then I'm gonna get on out of here and go pick up my son and hang out with him. Your daily gamer says, went from Colorado to Florida in one night. Damn. Because I took all the highways and only took 10.5 hours. Damn. Colorado to Florida. in 10.5 hours. I live in Southern Oregon, and I got to travel over to Southern Idaho here on the 15th when I get married. And that's 12 and a half hours to there. And I feel like it's shorter between, what'd you say, Colorado and Florida? Man, I don't know how you did that. That's some good driving, man. BD Killers says, well, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. I will enjoy the rest of my day, and you enjoy the rest of your day on purpose, okay, my friend? I'm thankful that you were here. God bless you. Appreciate you being here, man. Just hanging out with people right now. Nothing. This live is, you know, no specific topic like I normally have I usually have a topic, but I don't have one right now. I just didn't want to hang out by myself today, so thought I'd utilize my new friends that I've been meeting over these last 8 months since I started this channel and quit drinking and all that. Met some cool people. I met some shitheads too, but mostly cool people. Should probably go check on my dog, make sure she's still over there. We've got long drive and I have to go. All right, Lobster. I'll catch up with you later. My R8 is in the shop, and I'm actively working on my Challenger right now. That's cool. That's cool shit right there. Which blew up a radiator hose. Oh, that's lame. Nah, that's cool though, man. You're working on working on your Challenger. It's cool that you even have one. I did not make very good decisions in life up until now, so I don't really got a whole lot of property. I was more interested in getting drunk all the time, apparently. That was more important to me than having cool shit like Challengers in my damn garage like I should have. Good on you, my friend. Sorry to hear that your radiator hose blew up, though. That's lame. But hopefully you're the kind of guy that knows how to fix that type of stuff. I never did care for working on vehicles. That's not my jam, man. I'd much rather pay someone that loves doing that. That's just like with the painting, though. A lot of people hate painting. I love it. Some people pay me to do this. I'll pay them to work on my car. I'll paint your house. All right, got those primed up. When I come back next time, I can go ahead and paint them. I got a little over 50 acres with a two-story house, or a two-story house, long driveway, and a warehouse for me and my girlfriend's cars. We're both in our early 20s. Hell yeah, you're daily gamers. That's how you do life right there, big dog. I don't know if you're a male or female. Well, obviously, I'm assuming because you said girlfriend. So that's right, big dog. That's how you do it. And in your 20s. Hope that Lobster's paying attention to that, man. These young people need to be making moves like that. That is so cool. So do you mind asking, or do you mind me asking what it is that you do for a living? How'd you get to be so successful at such a young age? You and your girlfriend making them smart moves. I bet you guys are not alcoholics and drug users and, you know, getting into a bunch of random drama bull crap like I did growing up. You're probably making smart moves. I probably just answered my question. But I would like to know what it is that you actually do for a living to where you can have that kind of capital when he was a kid, it was all about the Datsun Z. You know, man, I was more into the 64 Chevy Impalas myself. But you ain't kidding. Datsun Z. Silly. I'm going to set you guys down for just a moment here. I need to get myself set up to do this little gate. Hey, gee. You want to come here? Come here. Come say hi, girl. Come over here. You want to say hi? Look right there. There's a Ginger. The Lobster knows Ginger. This is our little seizure girl. She doesn't have seizures too much anymore. But when we first got her, she used to have these seizures, and I went through so many of them with her, and we were not planning on keeping her at all. Okay, but she'd have these seizures, and she'd come look for me, and she'd get on my chest, you know. And so I couldn't see myself not having her. She's such a sweet girl. She's had one since we got her on medication. But she goes to work with me every day. And she's the sweetest girl. Everybody loves her. I bring my kids to work. I bring my dog to work. It's a family affair around here. Now, I'm by myself today, but you know, what we got going on? Oh, he says, I was an Air Force pilot and left in 23. But I flew a F-16 and I left to be a lawyer, okay? But now I'm working as a main engineer for McLaren. Dang. I don't design the cars, I design the engines and stuff. How freaking cool, young man. Heck yeah. So you went from the Air Force, and then you left to be a lawyer, and now you're a main engineer. So many people wouldn't even have achieved one of those goals. And you're in your 20s. Very impressive. I have a lot of respect for that. Respect to you, young man. No way you drove those stuff. No, it sounds like he did. Lobster's my boy, by the way, you guys. He's got his own channel, but that's my youngest boy right there. Just so you guys know who you're talking to. He's a 9-year-old boy. So if he is arguing, saying you ain't never did that, he's not some adult trying to defy you or anything like that. He's probably more impressed. I'm impressed. I run them on dynos and report flaws, so that's what I do. Very cool. And yeah, Lobster says I mean that in a surprising way. Absolutely. Man, thanks for sharing that. I better stop for a moment, stop all this yapping and at least get myself set up, yeah? All right, sit you guys down for a moment. How cool. People in their 20s, man. So, if you wanted to, no, I'll never encourage anybody to retire. I was gonna say, if you wanted to, you could probably retire in your 30s, couldn't you? That's a cool flex, but me personally, I don't see myself ever retiring from working. You know, I might not be out here in the field forever, but eventually I plan to, start to use my mind to make money. I would love for this YouTube channel actually to produce something. It's going to take some time. I'm a very new person. And I'm in the, alcohol recovery, content space and everything. So it takes a long time to build up a good community. But that's the intention here. I just want to build community, All right. I definitely take it a lot more easy than I used to. Yeah. I left the Air Force because I was on a mission once. And when I was helping ground forces shooting air-to-ground missiles, when a tank got to fire a flak round and it missed me, but I had to eject. Oh, crazy. Obviously, I want to ask you, like, what was it like when you were ejected out? I mean, because I can only imagine. That's, you know, the flak inside of it shredded my left wing. Fuck, that's scary. What a trip, dude. I never met anybody that had something like that happen. Wow. And you were still with your woman at the time when that happened, or did you meet her afterward? Because I imagine that must have been scary as shit for her to, you know, to have to think about. Is she also military like you? Where she could at least maybe understand, you know, have an understanding of what it is that you do? That's scary, man. What a trip. What a story, though. Ejected from a freaking... What was it again? He said it was... Daisy Bell was the name of my plane. Very cool. Keep flying, Daisy. Keep flying. Keep flying, Daisy. How about that? I'm glad you're still here, man. I'm glad that Daisy... I'm glad that it's Daisy that's out of commission, if that's the case, and not you. I'm glad you're here to be able to share your experience, man. What a cool thought to have today. I didn't think when I woke up today that I was going to be talking to somebody that's ever been ejected from a fighter jet. That's what I like about these lives. That's why I want to just come on here and have a random conversation, you know. Normally I have a topic, but today I was just kind of bored up here, actually. So figured, hey, what the heck? You got friends across the world on your YouTube channel. Might as well holler at them, say what's up. Most of the people that come on here and talk to me are from the UK. Yes, sir. Beautiful day. It's kind of cool having these live streams too, because then my kids, if they want to, they can pop in and say what's up. Daisy Bell was never recovered fully, but I took home a souvenir, and that's the stick you use to fly the jet, because it flies off with the seat when you eject, and I keep it. My jet's name is on it. Oh yeah, heck yeah, you got to keep that. That's so cool. See, I would have known that. That's one thing I can, you know, if I remember having a random conversation, I can bring that up. Did you know that when you eject from a jet, that the stick to fly the thing that thing goes with it too. Hell yeah. No, of course I knew that. How did you not know that? Do you not know anybody in the Air Force? No, that's really cool. I like learning things like that. And I do bring them up in random conversation too. I certainly do. I bring up a lot of stuff that you guys talk to me about in random conversations, you know, like you guys come up with one of the things I learned the most. Like I said, a lot of my viewers are from the UK. One of the things that I've learned a lot is their slang, you know, talking shit language and everything. I always think that's kind of funny, learning how different languages talk crap to each other. They recovered the tail and left wing. That's the one that the left wing ripped off, I think you said earlier, which revealed a surprising 97 hits to the left wing. Damn, with 32 pieces of flak still in the wing. Man, I'm glad that shit didn't hit you. What a cool ass story. It's just cool shit, man. That's so fucking scary. What a badass. Fuck yeah. Huh. Yeah, what a badass, dude. That's so fucking cool. Yeah, I met some of the coolest people here on these damn lives. People say that the world is, you know, the world sucks and the people suck, and I don't deny that those people are out there, but man, I've met some of the coolest fucking people just starting this YouTube channel. I don't think people hate each other as much as the media and stuff like that really tries to portray it. I really don't think that's the case, man. It's not been my experience that people hate each other, man. People have been so good to me. J.W. Clow says the Imperial West sucks. Well, I guess he felt like he needed to put that out there. I hope you feel better there, JW. I hope that made you feel exactly how you needed to feel, big dog. Sometimes you just gotta yell some random shit, you know. And I'm not talking shit about that. I'm serious. Sometimes you just gotta fucking say what's on your mind. I do wish that those people, though, that do say random things like that, I do wish that their profile, you know, they had the profile pictures and they were actually someone that you can, you know, go to their page and check out what it is that they're into and things like that, and maybe build a real connection. I have a hard time building any real connection with someone that just makes a random statement like that, and then it's, you know, it's like there's no context, there's no conversation that we can have behind it. But I also have realized and paid attention that, you know, those things just get us fighting with each other. Like I was just saying a second ago, I don't think everybody hates each other, And then every so often you're going to have someone that's going to come on and immediately, you know, challenge that belief. I just think that it's just a small percentage. I think that there are people that do hate, and I just think it's a smaller percentage. I don't think it's the greater majority of people. I really don't. It's not me anyway. JW says land back dog. Lobster, you stay out of this. Jason says, are you single, handsome? Jason says, you can tell this guy is tough. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody here that's tough. And there's no way of really proving that here in a comment section. I'm not tough. I'll tell you that. I'm not a tough guy. Tough guys end up in prison. There's no intelligent is a better aim. I'm not saying that I'm intelligent by any means, but I would rather aim for being intelligent than tough. I aimed for being tough too many times in my life, and all it did was just end up in pain. So if you like pain, I guess seek out toughness. But I'm not interested in any too much more pain, unnecessary pain anyway. I'd rather, yeah. Yeah, when it comes to, you know, people saying hateful things or whatever, I don't see the value in getting defensive and trying to argue with someone. They say that hurting people hurt people. And some people are in pain. And so that's how they express themselves. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying I understand it. I used to hurt people. And in learning, you know, how to be a more mature man, it was because I was in pain. I didn't know how to manage certain things. So I was very confrontational and very defensive. And I'm just not like that anymore. I learned after I ejected that the radio message I heard was relayed due to them being fired on by a line of enemy tanks. Check my last chat for context. Oh, okay, thank you. It hurt to eject. Yeah, I was asking about this. Thank you for following up on that. I appreciate that. It hurt to eject just because of the crushing force. But it was sad because the last thing I heard on my radio before it ejected was the ground team say they were taking hits, and I have had guilt since. I see, so like the survivor's guilt. I've never been in any situation anywhere near like that, right? But sometimes I like to try to pull it back to somehow I can relate when I was able to go from the lifestyle that I used to live into the one that I am now. I actually felt really guilty for a long time that I was doing so well, because the people that I loved weren't making the changes in their lives in order to be where I am. And I wanted to just, you know, pull them up and pull them up and pull them up. And what happens is you end up getting dragged down. And so I was thankful when I finally learned to set boundaries and things like that. But I had a lot of what I was told was a survivor's guilt just because I was doing so well. I know it's not the same exact thing, right? But that just made me think about that. Again, I'm glad you're here. And I can imagine you lived with some guilt and things like that. Not like guilt that you did anything wrong, but that you were able to come home and see your family and continue to prosper. I want to tell you something though, that I want to commend you on, that you're living this, you're taking this life that you have. And it seems to me like it, you know, in the little bit of conversation that I've had with you, that you appreciate it. You seem to take time for people, like we're doing now. And so I'm glad you're still here, and I'm sure that your wife is too, my friend. Give us your best Macho Man Randy Savage. I don't know how to do that. I later learned, he's your Daily Gamer. Oh, that was from JHIR. Well, I can't say that name anyways. But I later learned that only 12 troops made it back out of the 200 that deployed there. And they said that they weren't mad at me because it wasn't my fault, and that I ejected from a life-threatening scenario. Yeah, and even though they tell you that, how long did it take you to be able to, you know, at least kind of understand where they were coming from, and to be able to look at yourself from that perspective? Hopefully you've reached that place. Oh, you like that, JH? All right, there you go. I'm glad you like that, my friend. And I'm glad you're here. Glad, even if you're just stopping by, glad you're here. I grew up watching wrestling, JH. I'm from a wrestling watching family growing up. So even my grandma watched wrestling. I used to do all the impressions when I was a kid. Well, I tried to anyways, you know. It's getting hot out here. Getting real hot out here. Yeah, I'm so glad I turned this camera on. I was kind of bored out here by myself, so I'm glad you guys are here. I haven't accepted what they said since, and sometimes can't get sleep at night because I keep seeing those explosions and buildings keep getting blown up and bullets zipping by my jet by mere inches. Yeah, no kidding. See you later, Lobster. Yeah, no, I can only imagine. Yeah, just the trauma of it. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm talking about like just the noise, what everything meant and all that kind of stuff like that. It's not, I don't see something like that being real easy to ever let go of. And I bet you there's a part of your mind that probably just doesn't want to let it go, because there's a part that says, you know, like if I beat myself up over this, I'm not saying you consciously think this, but like sometimes, you know, it's like our brains are like, if I beat myself up over this, then, you know, I'm getting what I deserve, at least some of what I deserve and stuff like that. And I'm sure intellectually you probably know you don't deserve it, but our brains are weird, you know. I hope that you are able to find peace from that. But, and I'm only from an outside perspective, but as soon as I read what, you know, what they said to you, it made perfect sense to me, right? Because that's, you know, I think that's what a lot of us do is we really, well, not I think, it is what a lot of us do is just carry around a lot of unanswered, undealt with situations. Hey, what's up, Connor? Good to see you again, man. How you doing? I remember you from yesterday. How's things? Doing good? Fantastic. Yeah, I'm just doing a random live today. I'm working up here, this place called Top of the World. I'll show you. Working on this place, Top of the World, by myself today. I'm a little bored, or a little lonely. So Thought I'd just do a random live today. I'm not doing my 50 push-ups right now, but you were there for that yesterday. That'll be one of the next things that I'm going to do is try to hit that 50. Yeah, no. You think that's an insane view? Check this out, my friend. So that's the, I don't know if that's the front or back of their house, but that's just one view, okay? So get ready for this shit. Check this out. This is the other side of their house. Crazy, right? Yeah. The only way to stop enemies the only way to stop enemies were that dive that has caused trauma. That dive that has caused trauma ever since. And my last message actually tells some personal stuff. Here we go. So the one before that I just read, it says, whenever I did a dive, bullets from the anti-air zipped by, and 2 accidentally hit my jet before the tank shot. Both skimmed my underside and did no major damage. At least I knew, right? Well, that's what you thought, right? And then they if I'm remembering what you said correctly, then they realized that the left wing was shot off, and then there was the other thing you were talking about too. So it's like, man, Connor says he'd pay a lot for this view, yeah. But so like, if you don't mind me asking, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, like mentally, where are you with all of this stuff? And do you share this with your wife? And is she like super supportive, or do you like not share much of it with her because you don't want to, like, can I have a little bit more insight into that if you don't mind? Where am I at here? Right here. I'm using this clear primer, so it's kind of hard to see where I left off at. Jumpin' Jack Cat. Sober Start is the biggest fraud of sobriety channel ever, but I'm glad I found you, mate. I'm glad you're here too. And that may be entirely true. That may be entirely true, but I'm glad you're here. I'm going to tell you one thing about me. I'm not a fraud, okay? What you see is what you get. I'm not always the most pleasant person, I'm certainly, I'm a real guy. That's what it is with me. I try to be as real as possible. But I'm glad you're here, Jumpin' Jack. Where are you coming from? I'm gonna guess you're from the UK. I get a lot of people from the UK, but I'm just making a guess. Where are you coming from? And your Daily Gamer says, I share it with my girlfriend because we were together when it happened. I wondered about that, okay. And this happened in a battle in southern Iraq, which also involved F-18s diving, but I watched a F-16 get lit up in flames during. That's a whole lot to have on your psyche, big dog. Did they, like the military, like mandatorily or anything like that, make you go seek counseling or psychiatrist or anything like that? Jesus on Cunningus. All. Wait, I'm going to come back to that. Sorry, guys, I was reading something else. During the battle. Okay, yeah. All struggle with their sins and problems and fall short of the glory of God. But thanks be to God, salvation is entirely by trusting in Jesus as Savior and his finished work of the cross, not of works. Very good. I appreciate sharing that. I got no problem with that whatsoever. They are actively paying for mental therapy, but there is only 5 more years left on them paying for it. Do you feel like it's going to take a whole lot longer than that to get yourself wrapped around this mentally? That's a pretty, and I'm not saying you're scared, but I'm saying that's a pretty legitimate fear. Is like, you know, what if I can't get a grasp on this? You don't like lean on substances and shit like that, I hope, right? That's you know, because what I do here, you know, and what I talk about here, that's automatically where my brain goes. It's like a lot of people here on my channel would have went straight to substances, and I don't think anybody would blame you. Not that I'm encouraging it by any means. I'm just saying, you know, have you been able to get through this without, you know, reaching for a vice or something like that? And if you are, hopefully you're just not overdoing it. You know, my heart's always to the addict, and so I hate to see someone, especially, you know, after talking with you like we have been, and you're so young, I'd hate to see someone with such promise, you know, give it up to something so disgusting as what substance can do to a person. And it happens to the best of people. You know, you can be the most intelligent guy in the world and still fall victim. So I just wanted to ask you that. I think it might be dealt with enough for me to sleep and live normally again before they stop paying it. I hope so. But you also say I only drink when I'm with my friends, and it's usually just 2 cans max. I hope so. I really do. I really do. I don't want to pour too much on you. So I think that's cool. At my house once every Saturday. Beautiful. I'm gonna do something. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna say just a quick prayer. You know, just Lord, let this be the most that he really steps outside of, you know, his true reality, just to have a good time, relax, and all that good. What I ask is that he never becomes someone who finds it something he needs to depend on. He has everything inside of him, and he has all the support around him. And even if he doesn't have it around him, the resources are out there to keep him strong the way that you've made him. So I'm just asking personally, he didn't ask me to do this. And I hope I'm not offending you. Don't let him become like some of us did. That's what I want to ask you, okay? And I say that with thanks. I say that with the intention that I expect it to be true. What a cool conversation with you, man. You're a cool guy. And I'm glad that you are still here with us. And I appreciate you, and I thank you for your service. You might not see yourself that way, and you probably don't want to hear anybody call you a hero. But to those of us that are regular, we would call you that. And no, I'm just going to leave it that. I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to talk out the side of my neck. I don't want to say any more than what I actually know or believe. But you're a cool guy, man. And I'm glad you're here. All right, you guys, listen, I'm going to go ahead and cut this live, okay? We're coming up on about 50 minutes, close to an hour. I could probably get this little gate thing done a whole lot quicker. So I'm going to just ask that you guys have a great rest of your day on purpose, okay? God bless you. Stay alcohol-free if you can. I'm out of here, my friends.